The situation at my home was very difficult, which is why someone advised me to move to Bengal for a job. I went to Bengal, but things became even tougher for me there. I had been in Bengal for only 6 months, and because of the circumstances, I had never tried to fill my life with happiness. I had never looked at a girl or even tried to work before. However, after a few days in Bengal, it felt like a new spring had entered my life. A Bengali girl liked me. She was much younger than me, young and beautiful. She told me she wanted to marry me. I was working in the production department of a factory in Bengal, and she worked there with me. When she said she liked me and wanted to marry me, I was overjoyed. My heart skipped a beat. I could never have imagined that, coming from a small village in Bijnor, working an ordinary job, I would end up marrying a Bengali girl. It must sound strange to you too, that I, a 35-year-old man, was happy about marrying a 20-year-old young girl. For me, it was sheer luck. A beautiful 20-year-old girl was ready to marry me despite the 15-year age gap between us. I kept wondering what qualities she had seen in me that made her like me. It was the happiest news of my life because back in my village, no one wanted to propose a match for me. People would say, Ashish is so busy there, he doesn't have time or money for a family. Plus, he's too old now. And here I was, lucky enough to have such a beautiful young girl say yes to me. I could spend my entire life happily with her. When I told my parents about this, they were initially thrilled and overjoyed. But then, my mother began to cry. I asked her over the phone, "What happened, Mom?" She said, "Ashish, do you think that Bengali girl will ever let you come back to us? You'll become part of Bengal now. I am happy you are getting such a young, beautiful girl, and I am sure she will take care of you since you are much older, and she has chosen you on her own. But the problem is, we'll lose you forever. We raised you with so much love and had so many dreams for you, but in the end, we will just be left with disappointment. My heart feels lighter now. I'll end the call." My mother's sobbing voice echoed in my ears. She was right. If I married Babita, I would have to forget about everyone else. I was deeply troubled, realizing how much employment could pull a person away from their loved ones. I felt immense empathy for those girls who leave their parents to join their in-laws and then need permission to visit their own homes. When I shared this with my future Bengali wife, Babita, she hugged me tightly and said, "Why are you saying such things? Don't you think I understand that you come from a respectable family? My family has the same values as yours. I am happy that you are so emotional about this because it shows that you will love me deeply in the future. You will care for me so much that I'll be happy all my life. A man who respects his parents is truly a real man, someone who can also give his wife the love she deserves." Hearing Babitu's soft-hearted words made me very happy. I asked her, "Are you giving me permission to visit my parents? You know you told me you wanted to stay here in Bengal after marriage." She replied, "Oh, my silly husband. What I mean is that you can bring your parents here to Bengal. What will they do back there at home? You are their only son, and now they are all alone there. You yourself say that your relatives aren't good to your family, so what's the point of leaving your parents alone there? Bring them here, and we can get married in their presence." I was deeply moved by Babita's words. I shared this good news with my parents. Babita even took care of all the expenses for my parents' travel. She had no shortage of money anyway, as she had been working in the factory since she was 18 years old. On the other hand, I had only been working there for 6 months, so my salary was lower than hers. Maybe Babita wanted a man in her life who looked good walking alongside her. Even though I was 35 years old, my height and health made me look younger. I didn't appear to be a man, but rather a boy. It was just the mindset of the villagers that they didn't want to marry their daughters to someone like me. Anyway, now I had a girl who liked me and was crazy about me. Within a week, I had called my parents to Bengal. Seeing all this, even our relatives were shocked, saying, "Ashish's luck has turned around. He married a Bengali girl and even brought his parents here." When my parents arrived, we got married in their presence. On the day of the wedding, I was very happy. I couldn't believe whether all this was really happening or just a dream. My wife told me that all she wanted from me was love and respect. It was 2 a.m., and she was sitting in front of me in my room. She looked so beautiful, like a delicate doll. It seemed as if an innocent statue was sitting in front of me. I, too, looked smart in expensive clothes, but I was uneducated. Proof of my illiteracy was the gift I had bought for my wife, which I had put in a small plastic bag. I didn't even bother to pack it in a box, even though I had money in a separate pouch, which I had brought with me in the morning. I had also forgotten that my wife loved chocolates and teddy bears. I had bought her a small artificial jewelry set instead. People like me don't change their habits easily. I had kept the money thinking she could buy whatever she wanted. I forgot that she already had a lot of money. My wife had a small box in her hand, indicating she wanted to give me a gift too. When I saw the gift in her hand, I decided not to give her the money. But she had already seen the pouch in my hand, which contained jewelry in one and money in the other. She asked me, "Ashish, what's in this?" I told her I was going to give it to her. I gave her the jewelry set, and while she liked it, she wasn't overly happy. The other pouch, I told her, was my daily expense money and asked her to keep it aside so I could take it in the morning. Babita said, "I thought you brought something special for me." The jewelry set was modest. She liked it but wasn't thrilled. I apologized, saying, "Sorry, Babita. Because of my parents, I forgot to get you a special surprise. But tomorrow, I'll get you something even better. Something you'll love. Actually, you'll have to go to the gift yourself." My sweet words made her forget her annoyance, and she started thinking about my promised gift instead. I placed the money under the mattress and said I was keeping it there. Her expression changed as if she didn't want me to put anything there. Perhaps this marriage had a purpose for her, or else she wouldn't have looked at me so strangely when I extended my hand. Thousands of questions ran through my mind. Babita smiled and asked, "What are you doing?" "Why are you keeping it under the mattress?" I replied, "Then where should I keep it?" She smiled again and said, "Give it to me. I'll keep it in my cupboard." She opened her cupboard and put the pouch inside. I don't even remember when I fell asleep. When I woke up in the morning, my wife was sitting in front of me, smiling at me. She said, "Get up quickly, Ashish. It's getting late and we have to go to the factory. Everyone must be waiting for us there, and your parents will think I've taken their son away from them. So, get up quickly. We're already late." She said this while tucking the corners of the bedsheet tightly around the mattress. I went to the washroom, but her behavior seemed very strange, as if she was trying to hide something from me. When I returned, she was still sitting on the bed. As soon as I looked at her, she quickly lay down flat on the bed, as if she was scared of being caught. I asked her, "Babita, what's under the mattress?" She replied, "There's nothing under the mattress. What would I hide from you? Should I keep something wrong under it? Or do I have some treasure that I would hide under the mattress?" As soon as I turned my back and started getting ready, she suddenly stood up, quickly took something out from under the mattress, and immediately locked it in the cupboard. I became suspicious. If Babita wasn't hiding anything from me, then why did she put something in the cupboard and lock it? This thought kept swirling in my mind. We both left the house together and got busy working at our factory. We didn't even realize how the day turned into night. After working all day in the factory, we went to visit my parents at 8 p.m. They were very happy to see us. My wife had rented a small house for them from someone she knew because they couldn't stay with us in the house we lived in. It was my wife's house, and it was very small, with only one room and a tiny courtyard. The next day, I went out for some work and met a friend of mine from Bijnor on the way. He had come to Bengal for some work. When I met him, we exchanged pleasantries, and he started chatting with me. He knew about my marriage, and we began talking at a tea stall. He started asking me strange questions and joking about my wedding night. I sternly told him that I didn't want to joke about such things. I said, "My wife and I are two bodies, one soul. We respect each other. He laughed and said, "You've changed a lot. Be careful, she's a Bengali girl." His words startled me. I asked, "What do you mean? What should I be careful about?" He replied, "I'm just saying, be cautious about everything." His words stuck with me, and I ended up telling him about the mattress incident. It didn't seem like a shameful topic to discuss, so I shared it. Hearing this, my friend jumped up and said, "You're right. Your wife must be keeping something under the mattress, and she must also stop you from lifting it." I agreed. Yes, she does. Maybe it's just my imagination, but it feels like something's going on. My friend advised me to wait for 2 or 3 days and observe her behavior to find out if this is a recurring thing. I agreed and decided to investigate. That night, I was more interested in Babita's behavior than anything else. Again, her behavior became strange. She didn't have any objections to other things, but acted secretively with the mattress, tucking it tightly under a sheet as if there was a treasure hidden beneath it. She insisted I sleep on my side of the bed, pushing me away if I got close to her side. She said, "Ashish, don't try to lie on my side or peek under the mattress. Please don't do that. I'm your wife, and I take care of cleanliness better than you." She even lay beside me and rested her head on my arm, forcing me to drop the matter. I stayed quiet, and we both fell asleep. The next morning, I had forgotten about the incident until I remembered how she took something from under the mattress, put it in the cupboard, and locked it. Now I was sure that she was hiding something. The next day, I called my friend Karan outside the factory and told him everything. He said, "There must be a reason behind this. You need to find out the truth about what she keeps under the mattress and why she's hiding it. Also, think about this. Why did she marry you? She's young, beautiful, and could have married anyone. What's so special about you? Are you sure she doesn't have some other motive?" His words scared me. I asked, "What do you mean? What could she do to me? Why are you saying this?" After hearing me out, Karan began to speak thoughtfully. "Look, Ashish, I don't want to put unnecessary doubt in your mind, but there's one thing I can't ignore, and it's something you found strange too. Why does she always put something under your bed mattress at night and then take it out in the morning? Now it's up to you to figure out what that is, because if something goes wrong later, who will be responsible for it? You've even called your parents here. Think about it. This girl was a complete stranger to you a month ago. Now you're living with her, eating, drinking, and spending time together. You've started losing your senses around her. Who knows who she really is and what her intentions are? You need to wake up. Trusting someone too much too quickly isn't wise. And remember, you also have responsibilities toward your parents. You're not alone." Karan's words planted a seed of doubt in my mind. As a husband, I felt it was my right to use this relationship to uncover the truth. I decided that I'd go home and lift the mattress to see what she keeps under it. It's not right for her to refuse to tell me something every single day, and I can't keep giving in to her silence. There should be no secrets between a husband and wife. I resolved to lift the mattress as soon as I got home. But when I turned around, I was shocked to see my wife standing right behind me. Having heard everything, I felt so ashamed. What must she be thinking of me now? I regretted my actions deeply. My wife had already figured out my plan. Now I couldn't even bring myself to ask her, "What do you keep under the mattress?" If I did, I'd seem like a lowly, suspicious person. Her expression made it clear that she was angry and disappointed, as if regretting that she had married someone who would badmouth her to his friend. Even Karan could see how embarrassed I was. He said, "You're such a fool. If she overheard you, then trust her instead of being so stressed. Just go home and move the mattress. Tell her you only wanted to see what's under it. If you keep acting scared, it'll only make things worse. Women tend to dominate more when you give them too much leeway." His words made sense, but I was still burdened by the fact that she had done me a favor by marrying me, despite being a Bengali from a wealthy family. If I had treated her as an equal, she wouldn't have done me any favors. After all, she willingly chose to marry me. It's not like I forced her into it. So why was she hiding things from me now? After Karen's advice, I felt a bit reassured and decided to confront her openly. Karen left, and I went back to the factory. In the evening, when my wife and I returned home, my demeanor had changed. She noticed and asked, "What's wrong? You seem worried." I got nervous but replied, "I'm not worried, just surprised, and I want to ask you something. What do you keep under the mattress?" She said, "I heard everything you told your friend." Hearing this, instead of feeling ashamed, I stood firm. "Yes, you heard right. What's wrong with that? Just tell me what you keep under the mattress. Doesn't everything in this room belong to both of us?" She laughed and said, "Who told you not to look under the mattress? I was just avoiding the topic because I don't like talking about such things. Come, let me show you." She immediately removed the bedding and lifted the mattress. The bed was completely empty. There was nothing underneath. I said, "But you definitely keep something there at night, don't you? Don't lie to me." She replied, "Ashish, I don't have a habit of lying. If I ever put something under the mattress, why wouldn't I tell you? Next time, if I do, you can check for yourself and ask me right then what it is and why I'm keeping it there." I said, "All right, that works for me. I just hope you don't hide anything from me again." After that day, a month passed since our marriage, but every time I entered the room at night, I'd fall asleep instantly, as if overcome by some intense drowsiness. When I woke up in the morning, I couldn't recall when or how I'd fallen asleep. I didn't even remember having dinner or what I ate. This started bothering me a lot. I couldn't tolerate behaving like this anymore. I had to find out why I kept losing my senses the moment I entered the room. I thought maybe my wife was adding something to my tea, or doing something to make me fall into a deep sleep as soon as I entered the house. I tried hard to figure out what was happening to me, but failed. I stayed alert, avoiding eating or drinking anything made by her. One day, I even brought food from the market to avoid suspicion. We both ate the same food, but even then, as soon as I entered the house, sleep overtook me. The positive side was that one such day, I woke up at 6 a.m., feeling refreshed and energetic. However, I couldn't recall anything from the night. I focused on work during the day, and my wife was the same, dedicated to her tasks. At night, she would prepare food for both of us, and I sometimes helped her with chores. Eventually, I couldn't resist asking her directly. I lovingly confronted her, asking what kind of magic she was using that made me so sleepy upon entering the house. I also questioned her about what she kept under the mattress. Hearing this, she laughed and said, "If you think I've cast a spell on you, you're mistaken. I'm not into such things. In fact, I dislike people who believe in magic. However, I have cast one magic on you." Nervously, I asked, "What?" as I had been suspecting some sort of sorcery for a while. She replied, "Look, men from other cities often have bad habits. They stay out late at night. But in our city, it's not like that. Here, men return home early, spend time with their families, and go to bed by 8 p.m. Women also don't stay out late, and children are not allowed outside at night. Everyone is asleep by 8 p.m. and wakes up by 6 a.m. I noticed you were following your old city's lifestyle. After work, you would leave home, and I was left alone, waiting for you. I didn't like this habit of yours. Don't get me wrong, but it's important for a husband to be home at night, taking care of his wife. What if, in your absence, someone harmful entered the house or caused trouble? Would you like that? So I took it upon myself to change your ways. I thought fighting or forcing you to change might make you upset or angry with me. But tell me honestly, don't you feel better spending nights at home with your wife?" She continued, "This city has a high crime rate. I didn't want my husband to get into trouble or fall into bad company. We're simple people trying to live a peaceful life. To do so, we need to adapt to this city's lifestyle. Back in your village, staying out late might have been normal, but not here. Here, everyone stays indoors after dark, wakes up early, works efficiently, and spends quality time with their family. And about your sleep, well, I used a special mosquito repellent coil. It not only keeps mosquitoes away, but also induces sleep with its scent. That's why you feel sleepy as soon as you enter the house. If you think I do something suspicious after you fall asleep, you're wrong. I sleep at the same time as you because of the coil. I did all this intentionally to bring peace and balance to our lives. If you had just asked me directly, instead of overthinking or telling your friends first, I would have explained everything clearly. But small doubts can grow into big misunderstandings, which can ruin the beauty of a relationship. Hearing her words, I felt ashamed. Truly, we often let small doubts cloud our judgment, turning minor issues into significant problems. Such misunderstandings can overshadow the love and harmony in a relationship. I'd like to tell everyone that if you ever have doubts, address them directly with your partner. Misplaced suspicion can ruin a happy life. Thankfully, my wife was understanding and handled the situation wisely. Friends, I hope you liked our story. If you did, please like the video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss future updates.